Mind-draining stroke discharge. Starting around 2005, stroke frequency has expanded by half universally, with 1 in 4 individuals expected to encounter a stroke in the course of their life. As Public Stroke Mindfulness Month starts, specialists underline the job of modifiable gamble factors, like eating routine and way of life, in stroke avoidance. While hereditary qualities and age are non-modifiable elements, 80% of strokes are preventable through changes in diet and way of life. With corpulence on the ascent and diets becoming less fortunate around the world, taking on better eating regimens like the Mediterranean eating routine and keeping away from handled food sources can fundamentally decrease stroke risk. The CDC likewise suggests not smoking, restricting liquor utilization, practicing consistently, and checking pulse and glucose levels. Stroke frequency has risen half starting around 2005, with diet and way of life assuming key parts. Embracing better propensities can forestall 80% of strokes, stressing the significance of Public Stroke Mindfulness Month. Beginning around 2005, the possibilities having a stroke have expanded half around the world, as per the World Wellbeing Association, while another report, by the World Stroke Association, states there are as much as 12 million new strokes consistently. By and large, the information propose that roughly 1 in 4 individuals worldwide can be anticipated to have a stroke during their lifetime. What is behind the expansion in strokes? A stroke, blockage of blood stream to the mind, can be brought about by various variables, and everybody has their own particular factors that might incline them toward a stroke, says Maynor, MD, PhD, an interventional nervous system specialist and clinical head of the UCLA Arlene and Henry Gluck Stroke Salvage Program. As a rule, there are modifiable risk factors and non-modifiable risk factors. Hereditary traits, for example, would be a non-modifiable risk factor. Some individuals are brought into the world with qualities that have a higher inclination to strokes, and for them it's acquired, Dr. Knorr said. All things considered, by far most of strokes are preventable with diet and other way of life changes. These are the modifiable risk factors that can be redone to lessen an individual's gamble, Dr. Knorr said. The vast majority of strokes are preventable. Lessening stroke chances. While age stays the most basic risk factor for stroke, diet likewise can assume a critical part. The frequency of heftiness is expanding all over the planet, and the nature of our eating regimens is diminishing, says Dana Huns, Ph.D., assistant colleague teacher of local area well-being sciences at the UCLA Handling School of General Wellbeing and a clinical dietitian at Ronald Reagan UCLA Clinical Center. She ascribes the ascent in stroke gambles worldwide to the very factors that add to the worldwide weight emergency. Individuals are eating more handled food varieties. This is a worldwide peculiarity, Dr. Huns said. Cerebrum stroke hazard variables. Be that as it may, dissimilar to qualities and age, diet is a modifiable factor. There are numerous things that might possibly expand one's risk for a stroke. An eating routine that is high in creature proteins or one that incorporates food varieties that are profoundly provocative increment stroke risk, Dr. Huns said. Modifying our weight control plans can go quite far toward diminishing gamble, said Kayla Kalani, a medical caretaker chief with the UCLA Wellbeing Versatile Stroke Unit. We need to avoid exaggerating the conspicuous things that can put us at high gamble for a stroke, for example, quick food varieties and sugar-filled snacks, Kalani said. I advise individuals to look around the edge of the supermarket, that is where you will generally find the better things versus the handled food sources that are in the middle parts and frozen food segments. Dr. Huns added that there are explicit weight control plans that are prescribed to diminish stroke chances. We realize that the Mediterranean eating routine is presumably quite possibly of the best eating regimen out there for lessening hazard of infection. Eating an eating routine that is wealthy in new vegetables and products of the soil grains is perhaps of everything you can manage to assist with diminishing the risk of stroke, Dr. Huns said. As well as eating a solid eating regimen, the Communities for Infectious Prevention and Counteraction prescribes extra moves toward lessen stroke risks. Try not to smoke, or stop on the off chance that you do. Limit liquor utilization. Work out routinely. Screen and control blood pressure. Screen glucose levels to control diabetes. Be smart.